Hi Larissa, this is Jackie, and I'm so glad we got a chance to talk on the phone and get you set up with a library account. As promised, here's your video walking you through our library resources. Just a quick snapshot through those. The first thing, just in case you don't know how to get here, to get to the library homepage, you'll first want to start at the college homepage, which is just bluecc.edu. You probably know that. You can click here on library, and once you click there you are on our library homepage. We're actually going to scroll down a little bit. I'm really learning a lot of people go straight to this box. We're not going to go there. That's actually to our library catalog, which takes you to books and those sorts of resources, which are great. But for a lot of topics like yours, which has it's science and it's medical based, we probably want the most current information out there. And to go get those resources, our library databases are our best choice for the most part. Our library databases, they contain a whole wide variety of information. They're organized by title. We have videos, documentaries that are incredible resources for this class and others. I mean, I have links to Google Scholar, which is cool too. We do have a tremendous amount of ebooks. In fact, rather than ever looking at our library catalog, I would suggest looking at our ebooks. But you can see a huge variety. We're actually going to spend all of our time just right now, 2, maybe 3 databases, like I said. So we're going to click on Top Library Databases. And for the most part, this is where folks spend their time. This kind of covers most of what you'll need here at this level. Of course, your research might take you elsewhere, especially again for science medical topics. There's some great where we might end up going to is government research. We might look at medical center research. What does Harvard Medical say about body image and eating disorders? What does the Center for Disease Control, a government agency, say about body image? And these are very usually credible, evidence-based resources. They're not just opinion pieces. They're backed by scientists and looking into that particular issue. So where we'll start is opposing viewpoints. Even if you don't use it, I think it's a good one that everyone should know. It's very handy. Again, similar things. You can do your search up here if you'd like. I sometimes bring people down here. And you have an idea of what you want to search for. Sometimes this is helpful if you have actually no idea what you want to search for. You just know, say, for example, you're interested in society and culture, or you're interested in science, technology, ethics, that sort of thing. So that can really help people. Your topic, body image, really in a sense crosses multiple disciplines. It's really absolutely a society and culture issue. It's also definitely, as you mentioned, a health and medicine issue. What is listed here is always the top 3. So, and not top 3 in sort of preference, but just this kind of top 3, what's in a sense trending now. So you just click view all, and it kind of takes you on this nice path with different topics. And as you can see here, they're just alphabetical. And your topic is, it's a pretty current topic, so this is where this database really shines. If you're looking at a current issue and you want to get some more background information, this is a good place to start if you have that kind of topic. It doesn't work with every topic. Not every, databases are tools, and like any tool, they have different strengths and different weaknesses. I always like to say, okay, if you need to hammer something, you can use a wrench and a pinch, but that's not the best tool for the job. The databases are the same thing too. You're going to want to switch to the right tool depending on your topic. So that's why we're introducing you to a couple right here. So let's go ahead. Body image, ta-da. So body image, what they'll do is give you a bit of an overview of the topic. They have some people that they mention, which is kind of cool. It's always good to really kind of look up people. So this health professional, Carla Rice, must be somebody significant. They're not going to quote her just because. If you're ever unsure, I always advise you want to find out the who's, who says so and so what. And so, I think it's very valuable. You might want to Google Carla Rice if you were doubted for any reason her credibility to speak to this subject. Anybody who's credible is going to have very clear credentials. They're going to say, oh, I'm so-and-so. I'm anything for this issue, anything from a registered dietitian to a psychologist or a psychiatrist or some or a clinician is what I'm trying to say. So how this database is organized, after you get to that overview, it's organized by format type. So you'll see a lot of different viewpoints. Again, they list a top 3 depending on whatever the format is. We have viewpoints, we have statistics, we have great audio. These are usually from NPR. Some people really like interviews. They're kind of interesting to listen to. Academic journals. Those tend to be scholarly, high-end journals. You don't necessarily need one for this class, but once you get to that, advanced writing, you'll need to look at these. And we'll talk about that then, not now. I won't do that to you. But also, again, current news, reference videos. And, as I mentioned, they do have great suggested websites. In fact, Harvard is one of them. So, just to start, let's say you want to browse through the viewpoints available. The viewpoints can be helpful because, again, these aren't just anybody speaking. They've actually gotten viewpoints from people who have written about the subject, who should be knowledgeable about the subject. They're not just walking down the streets of the city saying, hey, what do you think about this? And sometimes it can be help someone think through their topic, especially for persuasive paper. Who's going to say body image issues are good? Well, nobody's going to say that, but they might look at different nuances of the subject, and it can help you kind of enter into this conversation of different viewpoints. And as you're writing your paper, to be more persuasive yourself, you're probably going to want to, speak to your viewpoint and your argument for this paper. But in doing that, you're going to also want to address other arguments out there. So for a couple of reasons: to prove that you're knowledgeable, you've done your reading on this subject, to also, acknowledge another viewpoint, but also how you can maybe say why your viewpoint is more credible. So you can say, while so-and-so thinks X, Y, and Z, I, however, am arguing that X, Y, and Z is because of this evidence or this topic. So anyway, usually what you'll find is, as you can say, here's a good example right here. As you browse through, again, this is opposing viewpoints, so you're going to usually find two sides of an issue. One person here is arguing that images of beauty are unrealistic and hurt women. This person is not. These are not always next to one another, but sometimes they are, so you might want to browse through. There's really interesting stuff on cosmetic surgery, may or may not improve self-esteem. Of course, eating disorders, huge topic with self-body image. But let's just pretend that we are interested in a very serious condition, body dysmorphic disorder and cosmetic surgery. Huge medical issue and health issue. So say you're interested in this, we'll just pretend. Here's what the article looks like. You can browse through these. The viewpoints tend to be short. Sometimes they do include a link. But other things I'd like to point out that are helpful for you, and all the databases try to do this for students, is they'll give you sample citations. So you're using MLA 8, of course, in this class. Here's a sample of what that would look like. I am almost 99% sure that Dr. Jordan does not want you to include the link. So if you were to copy and paste this into your, references page or works cited page, you would take that out, for example. Everything else actually looks accurate. So sometimes, especially with older citations, they're not quite caught up to new systems. Also, if you're doing some research, say you have access to a computer, but you don't have any way to read it, or you want to save it for later, I always suggest people email it to yourself. You can email this right to your Gmail, and there you are. You can also download to a flash drive, so you have these in an archive. And of course, you can print. Some of these other tools like saving, those are really handy. To use that, you will have to sign in with your Google account, and then you can save them there. But it's really super handy. So just going back, similar thing, if you really wanted to look a little bit more at, say, some of these, I don't know, these statistics. These are really cool, especially if you're doing for your speech class. Once you take speech, you need a visual aid. This could be a great thing that you pop right into your presentation for speech class. So, but aside from being helpful information. So, I think this is a pretty easy database to use. I don't normally spend too much time on it because I think you'll figure it out. Our next databases, and I'm going back to our library homepage, again, library databases, top library databases. We're going to look at Academic OneFile. Academic OneFile And you can see those two databases are in different boxes. Opposing Viewpoints is considered more topical, basic. This I considered more advanced. And this is when you've probably done a little bit more thinking about your topic. And it sounds like you have. You're looking at not just body image, but you really are interested in a particular aspect of body image, which is health. You're going to probably find yourself narrowing that even further, like the aspect of health. You know, of course, eating disorders is a very common one, but how does that tie into multiple things? You might not be doing that, you may. So one thing to think about is typing your topic, of course. You know, I'm talking about eating disorders, health, but of course that certainly, of course, ties into self-esteem, you know, eating disorders, healthy body image, all that sort of thing. So you can add some of those kind of additional adjectives at this point if you like, or you don't have to. I guess we can just keep body image right there. We'll just do a really super basic search because what we can do from here is limit even further. So this totally depends on your style. If you look at this and what you'll see is, again, this is a similar company. This is Gale, the same company that made Opposing Viewpoints. So again, they organize by format type. So they prioritize academic journals. You might also look at magazines, news, images, videos as well for this topic. But we can see there's quite a bit here. We might want to say, you know what, I do want to limit to, I don't know, eating disorders or athletes or whatever you want to look at in health. If you were looking more at mental health, specific things, you can certainly do that. Suicide, as you know, of course, you know, big issue with folks with body image and BDD, those sorts of things. The other thing you can do, that's one way to filter. I think it's really important to learn how to filter a lot of results. That's the power of these databases. You can narrow it down to as precisely as you'd like to go almost. And it's one of the reasons you would use the databases rather than Google, frankly. They've become much more efficient to get incredible resources because it demands more precision of you as a researcher, but it gives you those filtered focus results that are helpful rather than this scattershot Google search. You can limit by date range. So if you know, I want to look at everything from the last year, you can do that, or from the last couple of years. There's these subject things. So if you really wanted to look specifically at body image and, I don't know, exercise, you know, we can do that. They'll take you immediately to the 379 articles, academic articles on exercise. But if you want to, again, look at the magazines, you can certainly do that. If you're like, no, I want to go back to the main search, you just X that out here. And there we go. I want to show you one more filter, and that is our topic finder, which is super cool. It's defaulting to these tiles, which I hate, but there's this really cool wheel thing. So say you wanted to focus on the idea of body image. Don't say with how girls, they don't have men in body image, which is a huge issue. But if you wanted to focus again on eating disorders, depression, you know, self-esteem and psychology, we'll just click there. That'll take you to the top 5 articles related to that subject. And all these blue links, they will take you directly to the article. Pretty cool. So going back to our main screen, I'll let you browse. I'm just going to go ahead and, we are at magazines. That's interesting. Body's image effect on smoking and drinking. This is from USA Today, so it's probably kind of short. But again, it's just like the other database. You know, if you want to download the PDF, which I really recommend, especially if you're off campus, I don't know, I find it easier for people. But again, the citation tools are right here. Email is right here. Download, all those options are living there right there for you. Again, this is from a magazine, so it's a little bit short. If you want something scholarly, that's where you might want to go to academic journals and then start filtering down from that 20,000 results. Again, right here, by date, grabbing some of these subjects. And, you know, it's really kind of fascinating, related to specific issues of body image, of course, that make an impact on this topic. So anyway, so I hope that makes sense. You should be able to find a ton on this topic. Probably too much. I think your challenge is going to be finding so much and then deciding how to narrow down. But once you get there, just, you know, again, call me, call Sherry. We can talk to Dr. Jordan. She likes being Dr. Jordan. We can walk you through your topic. So, okay. I hope this helps. You know, this is a long video, so I'm only going to show you 2 databases. But again, we can always dive into that next one if you like. So, okay. Hope this helped. Take care.